What's going on,
What's
everybody?
going on? That
Welcome.
countdown is so serious.
Yeah, I don't
No, that
like
was
it.
good.
Even the 60-second one bites. It's ridiculous. It doesn't feel like this channel at all.
Yeah, we got to make a good countdown intro. I've been meaning to do that with my intro with that
Yeah.
song, but I haven't had time to do anything yet. But
Nah, like I've seen a bunch of people like try and get their intro countdowns from like Fiverr or something like that, and I'm just thinking I need something that separates it. And just doing a countdown that has like the THX surround sound from the movie theater, it can't do that. That's Bancroft. And just you need something that's your own. And I'm still looking around for it. Corey Barton's up in here today.
What's going on, Corey?
What's going on, Corey? Welcome back. Like seeing you here. This one's going to be a good one for you. I can already tell because he likes the babes, and man, do we have a lot of it in Bolt
Yeah, I'm
Action.
curious. I want to know about Bolt Action. I have not read that one yet.
So do
But
we
I've
want to
been
start out with
meaning
King
to get it.
Cryptid, or do we want to start out with Bolt Action?
No, let's start off with King Cryptid. I actually really
Okay.
want to talk about King Cryptid.
That's actually really good because King Cryptid is more for all ages, even though it's rated T for teen. It's definitely more accessible to the younger crowds too, and also you enjoy it as an adult too. So I really put it in there with like the Gargoyles or Batman and all those other kind of things. It's very
90s animated shows.
you know. And then
Yeah, I can
Bolt
see that.
Action, that's going to be for after the kids go to sleep. So let's
After
get into
hours.
King Cryptid first.
Yeah,
So,
man, King Cryptid. I love that book.
I love King
first 9.
Cryptid. It's from Peter Samedi over at Alterna Comics. You can go to alternacomics.com and check them out. And I just backed the issues 1 through 9. I know he's got a
He's got a new campaign out right now for the next 4 or 5 issues.
Okay.
It's like 10 through 15 or 10 through 14 or something.
Yeah, and so I didn't get the newly done campaign, but I did get through 1 through 9 for the catch-up tier, and I got to tell you, I fell in love with this immediately.
Yeah, well, that's all that's out right now. That's all that's is available.
Oh,
everything
so
else is in campaigns.
10 through 15 yet?
No. That campaign just launched not too long ago.
Okay. Well, this will be a good time to look at it, and you guys out there can assess whether or not you'd want to go back it. But I highly recommend it because it's just fun. It's just good old fun.
9 issues, and then you've got the crossover with Blood Moon. That's another one I'm waiting. I don't think that one's out yet either. But that's another one that's King Cryptid, man. These are fun books. This is a fun story. And like now at the end of issue 9, you can start seeing it come together. And I'm having a blast reading this.
The catch-up tier I got was actually $51. I paid extra because it's not that much. These are really cheap campaigns, so they don't hurt the wallet like most campaigns do, and you get a lot of bang for your buck. But I got the signed and unsigned issues of 1 through 9, so I get to play with the unsigned issues and then keep the signed issues to the side.
Yeah, I've got all of mine signed.
There we go. That's the way to be. So let me change up my lighting, change up my camera, and we'll dive right into this guy.
That's still, I got to say, man, King Cryptid is one of the best campaigns. Alterna does an amazing job every time, but King Cryptid in particular, it's such a cool story. It's great artwork. And like you were saying, you got 2 copies of each issue, and I'm betting that's 8 comics, right? No, wait, you got 9.
I got 1 through 9.
So that's 18 issues, and that had to have been, what, $30?
Yes.
That's as much as you're going to spend on, or just a little over what you're going to spend for one book in most campaigns. And that's insane, man. Pete
Jeremy's in the house.
Right, dude. Pete is awesome. What he's doing over at Alterna is, I'm jealous, dude. I don't know how he's pulling that off, but it's great work. I love it. And this is a cool story. Yeah. I think it needs to be like a series, a cartoon, like you were saying, Gargoyles or Batman or something.
Most definitely.
With like
he's got the stature and the demeanor of Goliath from Gargoyles. I told you that like on your stream when we were
right.
going over it.
Definitely that main gargoyle guy's voice.
I really like it. But this is the main cover. King Cryptid. This is issue 1. I don't think we're going to go through all 9 of them, but we're going to go through a decent chunk just to let you get a feel of what's going on here. Colonel Zaid's up in the house. What's going on, Jeremy?
What's going on?
Congratulations on your win against Dillard. That kicked ass, dude. I was there.
Did he win?
Yes, he did win.
I know he looked kind of scared.
1 point.
He had a family and everything. He was concerned about it.
1 point.
That
was he won by it.
That was intense, man. I saw that video between D-Wag and Dillard. And Dillard's he's a beast. That guy's a monster. And I was concerned, but I'm glad to hear you came out on top. That's awesome. You got to put the beast back.
Yeah. Yo, guys. Hail, Corey. Yeah, barely. Yeah. Dillard got screwed with that, what was it? That Jeopardy wheel or whatever. So he had to start doing some extra characters and shit when they were doing it. There was a lot of different hiccups that took place, like draw extra characters, take 10 minutes not to draw anything, or stuff like that. It was really
fun challenge. That sounds like a fun drawing show. Where you get like challenges.
It was a good one. I'll be back for the next cockfight. That was really cool. That was insane.
Yeah, that needs to happen all the time. Does that happen all the time?
Whenever somebody issues a challenge, it happens.
Ah, okay.
All right. We need more. There we go. So here is...
Isn't that an advertisement?
Yeah, this is the advertisement. I don't even know how to pronounce the name.
Huangus.
Jengus?
Hugh Jangus.
Anyway. But here's the first page. We're taking place in New Hampshire. So we're going to be up like near, the Canada border. And we actually jump around between New Hampshire and what is it, Connecticut?
New England.
Because he actually jumps states in a couple of these issues.
Yeah, I know that they're in like the New England whatever mountain that is.
But anyway,
New England.
Straight out the gate. They say that something strange and unusual was seen in Point Pleasant, West Virginia back in November 1966. A monstrous and mysterious creature that terrified the locals and captured the imagination of millions. It didn't matter whether or not the creature was real. The horrors that happened afterwards were real enough. And these events turned the creature into not just another campfire story, but a legend.
Ooh, a legend. I like that. The artwork's awesome in these books too.
Yeah. So this is like the old school, like yellow paper that you get from the classic, like silver and golden age pages.
That newsprint.
Yes. And it's really beautiful. I love the colors. I love how they contrast. When something intense happens, you get reds and oranges. Up here in the dark, you get to play with the blues and the yellows and the blues and the violets. It's a really good story. I love this.
I think the technique, there's like a couple of different techniques when it comes to printing, and he is using the old I forget what they call that. It's where they run the plate, the 3 different colors or something. Like a lot of times now they'll print just with like a printer, they print all the colors, like the whole page. But these are like done with the reels or whatever, with the color bands. And so you have the colors actually can get separated, which I actually like it when they do. Offset printing. That's right. Offset printing. And I love it, man. I love that. I don't think you can beat this look. The new comics, they look like magazines. Yeah.
So this first issue deals with a character that's going to be known as Behemoth or Behemoth, because it's based off the Mothman. But he gives these old legends really cool twists, and it's not like most stories. Most stories has it to where it's the cryptids are evil and everything, but King Cryptid here, he's actually the hero of the story, and they switch it up to where the agencies that come after these creatures are the bad guys because they want to experiment on them, capture them, and take them back to do some unholy things with genetics and splicing and all that kind of stuff.
Oh,
But
is that Victor Lugo right there?
yeah, that's the first shot we get
Yeah.
of Victor Lugo. And this guy goes through crazy transitions with his design and with his story. He goes from like a normal, no nonsense person, then turns into like a crazy madman obsessed with taking care of shit just because stuff keeps going downhill for this character.
Yeah, I
But
like it. I like
this
how
is
his character has like development, and he's like a side kind of. He pops in and out.
oh yeah,
Just
definitely.
in the first 9 issues.
But yeah, this is
Behemoth is one
Behemoth.
of my favorites.
And of course, this is the creature that was being taken away in that big total tank. And then when it crashed, this creature popped out. And what's cool about King Cryptid is that he has these powers to telepathically speak to these creatures and other animals because of this moonstone that he has on his crown. So this moonstone is powered by the moon, or at least the light from the moon, and it's what gives him his strength, his magic powers, and being able to telepathically speak to all these creatures. It's really cool.
I do like that, the Moonstone, how it plays in the later issues.
Right. And you don't get all the powers in one go in the first issue. Like he spreads them out. I don't know if it's because he's still figuring out what the Moonstone does or if he's just waiting to unveil what actually happens later on in the other issues. But you can see here Behemoth, he's been in a containment unit and a little healing pod, I guess, for experimentation.
Back to tank.
There's his
BH
right
Moth.
there.
I thought that was funny.
Behemoth. The subject is responsive well to the treatment. The Mothman DNA is mutating the host far better than we could have predicted.
So hold on, that's a question that I'm kind of curious about.
What's
the
that?
Mothman DNA. This is not the Mothman.
No,
the Mothman DNA. Not. So somewhere there is a Mothman. They've got the DNA and they're experimenting with it.
Right.
So you get the Behemoth. And I like that he's doing these original characters using that kind of concept.
And it's really cool because King Cryptid, he never like looks at anybody with skepticism or anything. He always takes it at face value. He believes people are good before he decides that they're evil, except for when it's obvious, of course. But like this creature here totally looks like a scary evil demon, and he's just sitting here trying to talk to him, calm him down, and actually make friends with him, extending the hand, trying to become friends, and then blow darts come out to tranquilize Behemoth. But see, here's another cool power. He can touch the surroundings around him and actually grow like a camouflage on his cape. So he can blend into his surroundings. It's really cool. It's like a chameleon type.
Yeah, that is a cool power. I saw it when he did later on, he does that power again. And I'm like, oh yeah, that's cool. I like that.
I really like the plays with the gold and yellows and the reds. You don't see coloring done like this anymore. This is kind of like my favorite type of coloring. Yeah. Even though I haven't done it yet, it's really, really stands out among the crowd.
This is my favorite type of coloring.
Right.
Like this class, it's not quite flats, but it's real basic. And it forces you to get creative. Like, I don't know how, if you go up a little bit, that guy's his hat.
Oh yeah,
and the hair. I'm like, okay, so red hat, like it's just an off tone of everything else. But a lot of people would color them the way they're normally colored, right? As if they were in full daylight.
Yeah,
they don't take in consideration to add to the mood that it's nighttime. They'd want their colors they'd be blues and purples and stuff, right? A lot of mistakes, a lot of times I see recently, in not just indie comics, but across the board, people wanting to do these full colors as if it's the middle of the daytime.
Yeah,
so
it's not
I appreciate like really good coloring that establishes the mood, which is what coloring is supposed to do. And they do a great job with that in this series.
I really like the look of King Cryptid in this shot right here. Like, he's scary, he's overtowering, and the glowing yellow eyes are really good, but you would never get that from his actual like personality, because he's very stoic, but he's very friendly. He comes up to people and immediately out of his mouth he's like, "Fear not," like a fucking angel. He's just like, I'm here to help. Calm down. This is a good shot.
There's a shot in, I think, issue 4 that was made into a sticker that I'm like, that's my favorite picture of King Cryptid. It's that blue, the colors, everything down from the colors to the image, the pose, the style. It just looks, the whole, it was that sticker of him like flying towards the camera, but with the moon behind him, and it was just like 3 colors, like blue, gray, and yellow. But
yeah,
it looks,
so
man,
here's Lugo about to get his shit wrecked with Behemoth, but King Crypt is like, "You don't need to do that. He doesn't deserve it. He's not worth it." Yada yada yada. Tells him basically, "Leave me the fuck alone. Don't ever come after me." But, and what's cool is that it's technically not one-offs with these creatures. They do come back. So these characters are going to be lasting. I haven't really seen any of these characters actually die off and not come back yet.
I like that. Later on, like, because it did, of the first 4 issues, I got the vibe like, okay, we're going to go through a series of creatures and stuff. But once I got the new issues, I start to see the continuation of the storyline that's happening.
Right.
And I'm starting to see how some of these stories are intermingling and you don't even realize it.
Yeah, like issues 4 and 8, I believe, have to do. Man, this is really blowing me out. But issues
with that bog or whatever his name is, the broom.
No,
The
I'm talking
swamp
about
guy.
I'm thinking about issue 3 with the kids. Never mind.
Well, that too. 3 and whatever the next issue is with the kids. There's a character in that issue, I think, is a character in one of the other issues.
You want to jump into that one real quick?
Yeah, that's a cool one. I actually do. It's another cool thing I like about this series is the difference in art styles. Because this art style fits better with this story that he's telling in this issue than the artwork in some other issues.
So the way this one plays out kind of reminds me of like a Stephen King's It. You know, it starts out with the kids, and then as the kids get older, it's like the story continues. Like they have to figure out what's going on. It's a very cool, like detective suspenseful thriller. So like he's here, he's working in the, in the filing room, putting away documents and everything. And suddenly he sees something that links to his past. A photograph that his brother had and should have never been seen again suddenly appears next to a photocopy that looks exactly the same. But you can tell that it's a completely different artist on it.
Well, this is like a little side story. This is an advertisement.
Yeah. So yeah, there's the little brother, and this little brother pisses me off. Like, if any character in this thing needed to die.
Wait, isn't that him?
Wishing death on kids.
Yeah.
No, that's him, I thought.
Isn't the little brother him? You wish it sometimes.
This is one of the things that
too much of your own.
Yeah,
out of the brothers,
I
thought the annoying younger brother was the one that
it is. The younger brother is the one that's in the filing room at the very beginning. That's the younger brother.
It could be spoilers, but they get to it pretty quick.
Yeah. But anyway, they're out and about. They're trying to go out and find cryptids and everything. They hear the stories and whatnot, so they take a camera to go and try and find some. and they're all acting really cool and everything. And then the little brother's like, this is stupid. There's no such thing as yada, yada, yada. But lo and behold, what's that?
Well, that looks like King Cryptid, or
It
a bird,
does.
or a plane.
But so here's the little brother. I knew you guys watched Ghostbusters way too many times. Do you know what you sound like? You should see your faces. And they're all annoyed.
There's one thing I got to say about this series. It's fun, but also sometimes the direction of the word bubbles, like the way you read it, if you go back up, you read it, that top one, which makes sense because top left, and then you go to the right, and then you go down. I think that should be read, you should see your faces. I knew you guys watch way too many Ghostbusters. You know what you sound like? But it does, sometimes these word bubbles go in like what seems to be the opposite direction they should be going. It fits on the page right, but I feel like some of the word bubbles do kind of go.
You think you have issues with word bubbles and King Cryptid? You just wait.
It's not a problem, but there was one where literally you're reading the word bubbles backwards.
Yeah, it works. Jargon. It bugs you a bit. But yeah. So the little kid, he's annoying everybody. The older brother's like, let's just keep going. They all are about to split up. And so the older brother goes with the chick because I think they have a little bit of a crush on each other. What do you think? What do those faces say?
Yeah, I mean, it seems like it.
So I think they have a little thing going on.
I think she's a character that shows up later.
So what's his name? Ernie, I believe his name is. Ernie gets stuck with the little brother. And this little kid is just being a fucking little shit. Just annoying comment after comment.
That's funny. What's up, Paulus Arts?
What's going on, Paulus? I don't know.
Paul is
Popo.
Arts.
What up, Popo? And so he just goes off on the kid because he's had it. So he's like, whoa, I'm sorry. He's, you know what? Go find it yourself. Go walk away. Go walk alone. I'm going back. Now he's feeling guilty. And they go start searching for him and everything. He falls into like a swamp. And he starts going down, going under. And then you see this claw.
That's like Lord of the Rings right there.
Yeah. And then the little kid sees the shadow just like hovering over him. And he sees all these little intricate details of the one and only King Cryptid. And so now he's telling his friends that he believes he saw King Cryptid. He's not joking or anything. He's not trying to make fun of him. And they're just looking at each other like,
they're like,
I don't know what to make of it. But this is a really cool one because this ties into something that takes place when they're older, because it looks like I actually can't tell. I don't know if it's the older brother or younger brother that disappears.
So there's one thing, because of the difference in art styles, there is another story happening later on and it starts, that's the later on issue 4, because I've still got them separated between the campaigns. So issue 4 leads into issue 5, and I feel like I haven't looked at the names, but I feel like they could be the same characters, but they're drawn a little differently. If it's not the same characters, okay, that makes sense, because they don't act quite the same. But I feel like that blonde girl, I think, is a character later on. Well, I might be wrong about that. I got to go back and look at names, because he does say the names.
Right.
What's up, D-Wag? What's going on, man?
What's going on, D-Wag?
Saw that video, dude. I know it's. I feel for you. I saw the way that that he went at you. What's his name? Did that video? Jake
Dillard?
Dillard. Yeah, I don't know why I couldn't remember Dillard. I saw how Dillard went at you, man, and it's not fair. It's not cool. Dillard he'll have to, face the sunlight or whatever. He's gonna. An up comments or whatever that is. Up and comments.
Yeah.
I can't talk right today.
It's
Up and
okay.
comments.
When do I ever?
He'll get his. You know what I'm saying? You did nothing wrong, man. And justice for Darren Wagner. Oh, y'all made up? Okay, well then, yeah, he's cool. I like Dillard. He's always like one of my favorite guys. Y'all made up. Zayd kicked his butt. Yeah.
Now Zayd has to face Ethan.
Yeah.
That'll be a good one. I'm still going to be in Jeremy's corner. There ain't no way. I already made the comment. It's unmatched.
Has Ethan accepted the challenge?
I don't know.
We got to like do a poll. We got to get like some. What is that? Where you get like people signing up?
Yeah,
like a sign up list.
A poll.
A poll sign up list. We got to get like 1,000 names on that thing.
That would be badass.
I know he didn't want to go. Ethan didn't want to go against Matt Barr.
Yeah,
but he might go against Zayd.
Yeah.
Oh, Ethan made the challenge, so it's already set.
Oh, where's it at? Let's go. I want to see it. He made the challenge. Oh, Ethan made the challenge against Zayd. I missed all that. What the fuck? I saw that he was gonna EFAP it, but then I didn't. He confirmed earlier. Oh, hell yeah! We got to blow this up, man. We got to make this like MMA shit.
Hang on one.
Remember those wrestling videos? Who did those old wrestling videos where the CG wrestlers? Remember that shit? That was a couple years back.
Hang on.
Where they did the CG wrestlers. We need that with Ethan and Zayd.
Hang on 1 second. I got a naked child running around.
You know what? Darren, I actually for a minute believed it. For a second, I actually believed that was a fight. And then like the more I listened to it, I was like, yeah, I think there's that's some pretty good kayfabe going on. Or is it? Like that's how I felt. That was left open. Wait a minute.
So what beer do you think would like? What beer do you think would go well? Was like if you were to turn King Cryptid into a beer, what kind of beer would it be?
I feel like it's got to be some kind of nectar. Like oh, you know what? That's perfect because he's nature. Mead, like mead. Like yeah, maybe not honey mead, but you could probably take like maple syrup and make mead out of it. I used to make honey mead. But you can actually make mead from all kinds of shit. You can make mead from fruit. And there's a scene in one of the comics where he was drinking a sap from a tree. Dude, King Cryptid mead. Yeah.
Like a maple mead or something?
Yeah, like a maple mead. And that actually, my brother, he collects maple syrup and shit. I got to get him to make me some maple. Oh my God. He did make me maple mead. It was cherry maple mead. And it was delicious. It was kind of sweet, but it was actually really good. That's it right there. Not the cherry, but some kind of maple mead. We figured it out, man. King Cryptid's alcohol. If we're doing comic book brew, I'd say King Cryptid's some sort of mead, like a maple mead. Are you muted? I think you're muted, Jake.
What?
Oh.
We got an extra guest.
Ask him what kind of meat he thinks King Cryptid would be.
Say hi, Wesley.
What's going on, Wesley?
Hey.
Here, take that. Get out of here.
Oh,
see, you like put him to bed at 7, but this time around he wouldn't go down. So
that's the best thing about being young. You're like sick one day, and the next day you're like ready to kill shit.
You're not too much energy.
Not wrong. All right,
get that kid a baseball bat.
I'm afraid what he's doing. But go watch Trash Truck. Go watch Trash Truck. I tell you. Okay. Trying to do something.
All right, real quick, interject. I'm gonna say there was a badge. Do I have the badge? No, I put it with the book, and the book's in the other.
Oh
room.
yeah, with King Cryptid.
The King Cryptid in the new issues, the 4 through 9 or whatever. There was it came with a little Victor Lugo badge at the end of this issue right here, issue 4. The people find a badge, and in the next campaign, that was like a perk or stretch goal or something, right? That came with the campaign. And we were trying to figure it out either on your channel or my channel last week, what the password, because it has a URL code. And so we were trying to figure out, because that URL takes you to a website with a secret, password. And I've been like going over these comic books, trying to figure out what the hell that password is. And today I figured it out. I figured out what the password was. And I posted it on my Twitter. Not the password, but I posted what it
ruined
shows.
The game for everybody.
Yeah, I'm not going to ruin the game, but it's actually pretty freaking cool, man. It's pretty cool what that led to, and I can't wait to use it. I'll just say that. I can't wait to use it. Go to my Twitter if you want to see what I unlocked when I figured out the password. And you're going to have to get the books, you're going to have to get that card, and you're going to have to, cuz you have to have the card to get to that website. You have to have the books to get the card, and you have to read the books to figure out what the password is. It was like a lot of fun, man. And I read the book several times over trying to figure out what is that password. It has to be in here somewhere. And I figured, and then all the other stuff I tried, I was like, okay, if that's not the password, what else could it possibly be? And then it stood right out. And I was like, oh, that's got to be it. And then sure enough, that's cool. Pete Sumetti, that was awesome, man. That was a fun extra adventure to go on while reading these stories.
Yeah, I'm actually kind of jealous that I didn't get that in my
You didn't get one?
No.
Oh, it must have been exclusive to the campaign that I got it from.
Oh well.
You know what? At the end of this issue, you might be able to figure out what the there's like when they find the card, they show the card, and I think it has the URL on that card.
Interesting.
In the picture. I'd be curious to see if it works. It might not work, but hey, if you're a King Cryptid fan like me, man, like you might want to try it.
So you think that maybe this blonde lady might be from?
Yes, I think that might be the blonde girl from the other issue. I don't know if they've named her. I don't remember them giving names, and if it's the same name or not. And if it's not this blonde girl, it might be the other blonde girl, the doctor or scientist one.
Right. The one that gets injected and basically mind swiped.
Is that what's going on with her? Because I was trying to figure that out. Like, I know something's going on, but when you have that other issue with the werewolves, it makes me think: is she turned into a werewolf? What's going on with her? And it hasn't revealed yet what happens to her, so I couldn't say it or spoil it if I wanted to.
Yeah. So in this issue, we run into a creature of the swamp called Bog.
No, it's Brug. Bog is
Brug. My bad.
Yeah, Bog is that other character from one of those. Is Bog Dojo's character? Dojo and Devil Flyer's character?
So. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. Brug.
Yeah, I like this Brug, character looks really cool. I love Brug. The tea.
Brug is a cool concept for a character. What Brug is, he's like the culmination of like bad things, essentially. And so you can't really kill him. I don't know. There's a better way to explain what Brug is. You got to read the book.
In the water, turning the frogs into Brug.
Yeah, right. He's turning the freaking frogs gay. No, Brug is like the culmination of like bad things, but he's like the, I guess, if it's all the fuck up parts of the experiments or something. I can't. It's hard to explain exactly, but I know he's like compiled of like bad shit or the failed shit of what's going on with this government thing, and so it's not that you feel for him because he is a big piece of shit, but in the later issue, he comes back, and there's an element of that issue that suggests maybe Brug's not so bad. Do you know what I'm talking about, Jake?
You ever play Conker's Bad for a Day?
Yeah.
Like, Peter kind of made me think, and I started looking at the character, and I was like, oh, it's the Great Mighty Pooh.
I don't know that game. What is the Great Mighty Pooh?
Oh, you got to look it up, Peter. It's great.
Oh, all right, I'll have to look that up. You got to read this. Brug is cool. He's a cool character, and I actually want to see great things come from Brug.
Almost all the characters are actually sympathetic characters.
Yeah. I can imagine where this story is leading because we are introduced to a lot of characters, and the next issue after this one, there's an Iceman that I'm curious to see what his story is. It's like hard because you want to okay, I know we're like reviewing the books and everything, but I don't want to give too much away. But I know I'm giving a lot away, but I'm not sure if I'm giving. I don't think I'm giving away anything that's like that.
No, you're not giving any away
far out.
spoilers, anything big. You're not revealing anything.
I'm
huge.
trying not to because from what I've read, and I don't know how to word it without giving away too much. Brug is a really cool concept for a character, and I feel like King Cryptid knows more than maybe your average Cryptid is aware of, and so he feels bad for a lot of them. Like he knows kind of what's going on. But they don't even understand what's going on. So he has sympathy for them. He doesn't want to kick their ass. Plus, a cool thing about King Cryptid is he's got the Moonstone. And if something like covers the Moonstone, if the moon goes dark, he's vulnerable. He has vulnerabilities. And his power levels are kind of obvious after reading an issue or two. That's the badge right there. After reading an issue or two, you kind of get like his limitations. And he's not like some impenetrable character yet, although there was an illusion in a later issue that he might be. He has more powers, I think, than he knows. But that badge, there's a picture of the badge in that last page, and I'm thinking you might be able to use that URL code. It looks like the same URL, or whatever that thing is. That's URL, right? URL code.
Right.
It's pretty cool, man. I like how this all ties together. It's fun when you read a book that there's more to it than just reading the book and then you're done reading the book and it's over. You know, we pay the price of admission for an adventure, for entertainment, and it is really cool when that is extended beyond just the read of the book. When you can have something like that cool badge, there's somewhere in the book there's a secret password, and you got to go find it, you know, and then you can go to the website and figure it all out, and then there's a prize at the end. It's like pretty cool. I like that. Makes it much more fun, entertaining.
Yeah, like a decoder ring or something like that.
Right.
Oh, Darren Wagner just sent the leaked video in pieces. Is that from the earlier shenanigans? The battle royale?
Yeah, probably.
Behind the scenes footage. I saw Zayd's video. He looked pretty nervous, but I'm glad that he came out on top.
I am too. That was a good battle to watch too, man.
What channel was that on? I haven't seen the battle. The drawing. I saw the final product.
It was on Dark Gift.
That was on his channel? Okay.
Yeah.
I think I'm subscribed to him. A lot of this stuff happens. I don't even know what channels it's happening on. And I don't have links, so I guess I'm not subscribed to some of these channels. That was on Dark Gift's channel, Darren says.
Yeah, Dark Gift.
All right. Well, now I got to go resubscribe to Dark Gift.
Corey hasn't seen them.
Actually, I think I've already.
It was really cool. Like the whole setup for it too, with all like the promos and stuff that they did for it. Jeremy was nuts. He decided to put on like a mop.
What was that noise?
That was my phone. I'm sorry.
That sounds badass.
On like a mop top and put balloons in his shirt, looking like a very unattractive female, but
I am
it was
subscribed to
good.
his channel. I'm subscribed to Dark Gifts Comics. How come I didn't get a notification or anything? Is he doing like a premiere? No way.
It's already happened.
One day ago. Slums Day Afternoon. Is that it? Indie Cockfight, episode 7. That's it. Dude, I didn't get a notification at all. All right, and I'm going to have to go back.
You
I guess
got to
I'm gonna
ring
watch
that
tomorrow.
bell.
I think I have it.
If
Hold
you're
on.
enjoying it, like, share, subscribe, ring the bell for notifications.
Oh, yeah. Make sure to do that. Like, I was trying to tell everybody on my channel, but nobody was watching. Nobody watches my channel. Although but I try to tell them anyways. Make sure to go to Peter Orchard Studios.
Everybody watches your channel. What are you talking about?
Nobody watch, dude. I don't have people in my chat.
They're just intimidated. That's all.
Is that it? They're watching, but they're not talking. They're afraid I'm gonna say. They're afraid that if they say something, I'm just never gonna shut up ever. I'm gonna be like, "Oh shit, there's people in my chat." Hey-o!
Okay. So we only got 41 minutes, but I know Corey's been waiting on this one, so we're going to get right into it. This one's called Bolt Action Comics.
Yeah, okay? This is one that I'm going to get, but I have not read it yet.
Now, Peter and I found this on Fund My Comic. Okay.
Yeah, that was a fun deep
Bolt
dive.
Action. And the premise of this book is really cool. So Bolt is actually an old movie theater that burned to the ground, and people were trapped inside of it. So now what happens is that this theater can somehow appear through space and time at different locations at different times throughout history, and usually appears around some really bad individuals. And you have to have a ticket to get into the Bolt Theater. Luckily, I have my Bolt ticket. So I'm allowed to go into
You're allowed to go in?
Yeah, whoa, amazing. But anyway, you can't watch these movies. And but I love the art of it. Like, this is the back of it. And you can see that it's just a bunch of old promos and old movie posters. I really like this.
Yeah, I love the theory, like the concept behind this book.
Yeah.
It's like going to the movies, but it's a comic book, but it's movies.
Anybody else ever had to do this with a child right behind you?
Oh, yeah. Twice. Yeah, I have 2 kids, but now they're like teenagers. And to be honest, Jake, I miss it. I miss the days when they were that age.
Oh, I enjoy it thoroughly, except for when I don't need to be.
It's awesome when they start learning how to talk, and then they learn how to talk back.
He's still learning how to talk, but yeah. Hang on. Now I got the other one crying. Yeah, Corey, just look at that. Let me know what you think.
Hey, make it full screen or make it big screen real quick. So we were going through. Grody, do you remember what channel that was? Was it my channel or Jake's channel? It was.
I think we did both, actually.
Was it both? Like we had.
Yeah, we both kind of looked at Bolt Action when we were going through. It's just so good. We kept coming back.
Yeah, it was like it was a different book, Dead Crew or something that I found, and then I was like, "Oh, this book looks really cool." But then I thought that I found some kind of discrepancy. I was like, "Oh, Dead Crew, but you can only get issue 3. Where's issue 1 and 2? You can only get it on eBay. What's the catch here?" Because it looked so cool that I was like, "There's got to be a catch." Then, so as we're bringing it up, Jake shows me that you can click and find out their other campaigns. Come to find out, this guy's got multiple campaigns open. That's shady AF. And so we're looking at all these other campaigns, and then we find like we're looking at Bolt Action, going, this actually looks pretty fucking cool, man. And then Jake actually went and got it, and it came right in. He's not even fully funded, and the book came in. It
acts more like a
cool.
storefront.
Yeah, that's cool that he got it so quick. And then like, okay, so this guy's legit. Now I want to go get Deadbolt and all the Bolt Actions.
So this is kind of like Band of the Crow. It's oversized, right? So here's a normal King Cryptid. You get like this extra space right here, and even at the top, right here.
That old magazine style, like Judge Dredd, those old Judge Dredd magazines, and similar of the type. Darren Wagner says next Thursday, 9:00. Is that 9:00 Eastern or 9:00 Texas time?
Yeah, Central or East? What's going on?
What, Eastern or Texas time? Because Texas is most of the Central, so just saying. Actually, Grok it burned me pretty bad because I call out Texas time.
Yeah, that wasn't fun. But anyway, here's the very first page. I got to bend the cover, which I'm not used to doing, but we're going to do it today. Anyway, here is Rhonda. Rhonda is the head. What do you call the person that accepts the tickets?
Like the cashier?
No, Usher. There we go. So she is the head usher.
I like
right?
This Usher. Where'd I go to that movie theater?
Right. So as you can see, she's in the back alley. It's almost midnight. You see these people over here lining up to get into the Bolt Theater. And then we have two characters. Well, God,
I love this artwork, dude. This artwork is awesome.
This artwork's great, but I pointed out a couple issues that I had with you. Like right here where my fingers are. What's wrong with this word bubble?
I'm seeing two word bubbles going, like they're connected.
Yep.
And one's going in one direction, one's going in the other direction.
Right.
Which makes you immediately think that there's two people talking, and are they saying the same thing?
Right.
But there is a split. And it's that noir kind of like classic indie comic thing. Not the split in the word bubble, it's the split in the paneling. So that could suggest the same person, but you wouldn't need two tails or whatever, other than to suggest that is a split in the paneling and that is the same character. Hey, what's going on, Edwin?
But you can tell. You can tell it's not the same person though, because the scars back here on a male back.
Are you sure? That word bubble suggests that's the same girl, just different angle.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Is it?
And she's just got scars on her back.
It's an odd setup.
Clothing wrinkles, maybe. Is it scars or clothing?
I think it's clothing wrinkles.
Okay, it might be clothing. But you see this character right here, down hunched over. So this person acts like a crackhead who wants another ticket to get inside to the theater.
I need another one. Give me another.
Yeah.
I like that.
Do you think I can get a ticket?
Give me a ticket.
So he looks like a little crackhead. But
then there's one ticket. That's all I need is just one more ticket.
There's these two characters that are looking for the Bolt Theater. And this guy says that, you've heard the legends of like Bigfoot and Slender Man, but nothing compares to Bolt Theater. All the others are bitches compared to Bolt Theater. I was like, that's a huge claim to have, bro. So anyway, they're getting in this line, and you see all these characters don't really look like,
Yeah. I like where this comic book, there's something about the artwork is just
standing out to you.
Is it black and is this black and white, or is this got color to it?
No, this is black and white. All three issues are black and white.
Oh, so it might be your lighting, but it looks like some of it looks like green, some of it looks like yellow, gray tones, some of it looks green, gray tones. Is that just the lighting?
No, I mean there's gray tones, but I think it's just not like,
but not green, gray tones and yellow, gray tones.
Let me see there.
Well, I ask because the Guazine was like that. It was like gray tones, but it had like some pages were green. I think they separated the gray, black and white stories between different color schemes of gray. It was like black and white monochromatic stories, but the colors changed in every story. It was cool. It was a cool idea. And just looking at this right now, it looks like there might be the similar thing, but if it's just the lighting.
Yeah, so here's the Bolt Theater in all its glory. But anyway, so what the Bolt Theater acts like is like it's hell, basically. It's a place of hell that these spirits go to, but they appear to bad people. So I'm just gonna undo the blow up and go through the book because I'm tired of holding the camera. But anyway, so the Bolt Theater plays like it would in the movie theater. You get the presentations before the actual film, the commercials and all that kind of stuff. Have all that. They have previews and all that of like different movies and whatnot before they actually play the actual show. And it's really cool.
There's another book that did that. Hold on, I have it right here.
So
what is it? It has like commercials in the middle of it. It's
one of the first shots you get is of this naked chick laying down.
YouTube, it's art. Be cool.
It's art. Can't get onto it. Maybe I'll blow that up for Corey.
Yeah, just so you can see what we're talking about here.
Yeah. So the very first quote unquote film, because these are anthology books, the very first film is about a porn star trying to do a film on filling up herself in an old rundown house. And what happens is that her ass starts burning for no reason.
Somebody must be talking about her.
Apparently. So the guy that's there trying to film it and make money, he's like, don't worry about it. Just keep doing your thing. I'm still recording. And then out of nowhere, the hay that she's laying on starts turning into a creature. So now you see all these demons coming out and getting ready.
I remember that page from the campaign.
Yeah.
Yeah, that looks cool. Dude, so the artwork is like freaking awesome. Like, I'm not talking about like the TNA, but
yeah. No, I absolutely love this.
Dude, that looks cool. This looks like a fun book to read.
Oh, it's definitely fun.
I'm definitely going to be getting this book as soon as I get paid.
Yeah, something straight out of Tales of the Crypt.
Yeah,
so
that was a fair price.
Once you get done with that horror story, then you get like an old 70s blaxploitation film where these chicks are like going into like a Mortal Kombat type tournament and trying to, save the world or become the next champion so your soul's not sucked in for the vampire that's running the place. It's really gnarly.
It's like they're beating on a pimp named Slipback.
Yeah, that should be made into a movie.
Oh, yeah. Who's this guy remind you of?
Odd Job.
No. Oh, God. Oh, it's Jackie Chan, of course.
No, it's from that Jean-Claude Van Damme film. The big pumped up dude that tried to kill him.
Yeah. The Muay Thai fighter? That guy went on to do a lot of roles. Wasn't he Shredder?
Did he do Shredder?
I think he was the body of Shredder. Like somebody else did the voice.
But yeah, this is just really awesome art. Isn't it?
I mean,
yeah. Art?
I'm gonna have to, when I get this in the mail, I'm gonna have to just put it in that collection. Like, I'm gonna put it with Tarot, Witch of the Black Rose. Because
dude, it's so much. So much.
Are the stories good?
So
the artwork looks pretty good.
I enjoyed issue 1 the most out of issues 1 through 3 because it felt like it had the most original stories in them. And I I kind of put them on the same plane as Tricks and Treats from Ben Soto and his brother John, right?
Yeah, well, it sounds like
Because
those guys need to step it up then. Tricks and Treats. They need to
well,
step it up with the TNA.
outside of like the flashy,
more treats,
naked
less tricks.
chicks, sometimes it feels like the stories just immediately end because it is an anthology, but it has a hard time like switching between the stories because it'll feel like it's pulling two characters into a different story because they either look too similar or something else is taking place to where, oh, this is going to be like a spin-off for this film and turns into another. But I like how it sets up like the intermission videos. So they do intermission panels of like going to the concession stand and getting popcorn and stuff like that. But it has to do with a little troll that looks just as grotesque as the monsters, along with like a dead dog going and getting some weenies from the concession stand.
It's like when the story's over, it goes to the crowd, and the crowd goes to get the concession stand. That's cool. So there's like you're following, like the experience of going to see the movie.
Well, that's the whole thing. Bolt is the movie theater. That is the demonic movie theater that goes through time and space and lands at these different points. And most of the time lands around bad people that you don't really care what's coming to them. But every time it lands near these people, a ticket appears. And if you touch that ticket, you're going for the ride, whether you like it or not.
I love that they sent tickets with that book.
Yeah, I've got those 2 tickets, and then this real big one came with the third one. So this one takes place in the Wild West, right? That's why it's called the Red Rag Saloon. So it appears at the Red Rag Saloon. Say that 5 times fast. And so,
you think Bolt Action 4 is going to be on the agenda? You think you're going to be getting Bolt Action 4? Or is it like you're done after 1 through 3?
I think after 1 through 3, I'm done because I get the gist of what's going on. And
1 through Bolt Action 1 through 3, we looked at that. That was like $35 for those books, and then plus shipping, so it came out to like $40 or $45.
They're really thick books, though. Like, you get bang for your buck.
You get your money's worth of books. 3 of those books, and it looks like a fun story. Like they are really cool, and there's lots of the TNA and stuff. But yeah, that is a steal for a price when it comes to these campaigns.
No doubt. But I recommend it if you enjoy that kind of like horror art, not horror, but
both
thriller type,
art,
suspenseful type stuff.
It's
got
horror
a little bit of that. It switches between the thriller and the action because you get some like military action going on in there for one of the films. But yeah, it's a fun ride, man. I highly suggest getting at least issues 1 through 3. If you feel like going and getting 4 when it comes out, go ahead. I personally got my fill because this
book just screams that indie, like that essence of indie comics that I've been just craving. For the past couple of years since I started I found the indie space on the internet and everything. I've been seeing a lot of books that look the same, a lot of books that kind of, okay, so we're going to do this version of Superman. Okay, we're going to do this version of Spider-Man. Oh, okay, this is whatever. Like I've seen a lot of books that have obviously their takes on mainstream characters, or maybe their original ideas, but the artwork looks practically the same as mainstream comics, or maybe something similar. Anyways, it's a lot of the same, and so when something stands out, I love it instantly. I'm like, oh, this is different. And so I really like seeing this book when we found it. And I'm curious, what do you think about Dead Crew? You think that's one that you might want to get into now that you've read what these guys are all about? Or you think you're done? I think I'm done with this group or this creator.
If it's different from the anthology style of Bolt Action, I'll definitely give Dead Crew a try. I think I
want to try them both, man. Like these Polar Destroyer, all these books that we've been finding lately, this is what I what I want to find. You know what I mean? This is like the whole point of doing this channel is
Something
finding
that
all
doesn't
these
look
cool
like
books.
what you've already seen.
Yeah, something stands out. It screams indie comics. Doing something that you can't do in the mainstream. That's it. You know?
Yeah, that was definitely it.
It looks cool.
But, oh, it's definitely cool. Like these covers and everything are spot on. I love these covers. I don't even need the hot chicks on them, but I like how the like film wraps around her body. I love these little like, side things of what's going on. Savage Abduction, Maiden and the Machine. These are all different parts of the anthology stories that take place in this book. And it's really fun.
Posters. Oh, so let's say turning those into movie posters and having them plaster the walls.
Well, yeah, look at this. This is how they end it. So, like next week, chapter 16, Dive into Hell, and Old Republic Pictures cereal.
Dude, that is on Nexus. That what was the Nexus book? The Battle for Thune World. That was the Steve Rude Nexus, not Mike Barron's Nexus. That book, actually, that might have been both of them. Thinking about it, that book ended every page like that. Up next on the next page, will this happen? Like that was, dude. That looks so cool. That looks freaking awesome, man. Yeah. That's some badass art right there.
Bold Action has the art, and most of the stories check out and are really good and really fun to follow. But as soon as you get into it, it kind of dips off and gets ready for the next film. And so you want more of each one because it's an anthology, right? So what they need to do is give like a little pamphlet or postcard where you can check off what ones you're more interested in than the others and send that in and let them work on that one.
Dude, Indiegogo had a book that was similar in the style of the indie space, right? Anthologies. I can't remember the name of this book, but it was like a magazine style, just like that. And it was like, they had like 4 issues. They were cheap, just like around the same kind of price range as this book. Cool artwork. I can't remember. It reminded me of the Eerie magazine, if you remember those. But I haven't seen it in forever, and I didn't back it, and I wanted to, and I never did, and now I can't find it on Indiegogo anywhere, man.
What's going on, Mo?
Hey, Mo, what's going on?
Always good to have you here with us, man.
Yeah. What was the name of that book?
I don't know, but I think Corey just showed back up, so I don't think he saw the early stuff. So we'll give him one shot of what the Bolt Action.
Corey, you got to see this.
Shows. But you can get Bolt Action Comics on Fund My Comic right now. And it's not even fully funded, and they sent me the books already. So it's, like we said earlier, it's more like a storefront than anything. But
yeah, the fact that they're not fully funded and they're already sending out books, and that's cool. They're not hanging on to it. They're like getting that stuff out, which means there's going to be a limited run, right? So you're going to have to get them now before they run out.
Right.
Get your ticket.
Get your ticket before it's too late. Like this other magazine I'm looking for right now, I think it's too late for it.
So book 2 actually lightened up on the perky scenes, I guess is what you could call them. It really lightened the load on those and went more with the action. But let me
funny how that works.
Something that Corey wants. Here we go. Here you go. Here you go, Corey. This is just for you because you always need this. Get out your lotion and your Kleenex, and boom. There you go, buddy.
This is what
Bolt Action is all about.
There you go, YouTube. You go. Have at it.
That's what you want. She's not saying the name Michael. She's saying the name Corey.
Oh, Corey, buy my book.
But yeah. No, for a once over to check them out and share them with everybody, I highly recommend issues 1 through 3 of Bolt Action. Yes, it is allowed. It's art, right? You can't get struck for art, right? We're gonna find out. I'll tell you next week.
Whoa!
Censor it with googly eyes or explosions.
Dude, I just found. Okay, I don't want us to go off on a tangent, but I just found the coolest book. I think this is the book, but I don't see the.
We're at the hour. We can tell them to go back King Cryptid and Bolt Action
Yeah, you're
Comics
right.
and then get
Go
into
do
it.
that. We'll get into this later. I'll talk about this on
Yeah.
my channel on Wednesday because this is like going to be freaking awesome. It's right up this alley of like Bolt Action, indie comics, awesomeness. I think I found the book that I was looking for, the eerie looking book. But King Cryptid, man, he's got two. I think of the issues 10 through 14 or 10 through 15 on Indiegogo right now. You can go get that in a backlog of all the other issues. He's got Blood Moon, King Cryptid Blood Moon right now, and I'm pretty sure you can go get a backlog. One cool thing about Peter Simeti is he has like everything available on his campaigns. So it doesn't matter which one you get. I'm pretty sure you can get everything on both of those campaigns right there. If not, you can go to alternacomics.com and get everything there.
We love you too, Don.
What's going on, Don?
Where were you guys earlier? You guys know I start at 8 o'clock Central. Come on now. What, you got to be over at Dan Croft's channel and Joe Sontag's channel and
yeah,
whoever
they're stealing
else.
our ideas. All they do is steal our shit.
This is where to be. Is Peter Orchard Studios channel, and then here at Bionic Bruh channel.
This is
you
the source.
Don't need any other channel.
Yeah,
Bring those
this is where they've been getting their ideas.
They'll be cool.
Yeah, this is where they've been getting their ideas for years. Years they've been stealing shit from us.
I'm not even about to start on everything that John Lombox has been stealing from me.
No shit, John Lombox.
Oh man. Shill, baby, shill.
Yeah, that's Peter Orchard on YouTube. Peter Orchard Studio. I don't even know what my own website is on YouTube. It's Peter Orchard Studios, right?
Yes.
And Bolt Action's over on Fun My Comic. So King Crypt is on Indiegogo. You can get all those books or at alternacomics.com. Bolt Action is on Fun My Comic. You can get one at 1, 2, 3, and 4. He's got actually a few books on open right now on Fun My Comic. And they all look pretty cool.
I forget what his name is.
Bolt Action and Dead Crew, I think, are the ones that caught my attention. The other ones, I'm not sure if those are my top.
You can also follow the creators of Bolt Action on Twitter. Their name is Rat House Magazine.
Oh yeah. Yeah, and Don, yeah, man, I'm making a plan on it. Keep sending me the link, and one of these days, I've got a crazy schedule right now, but I definitely want to show back up on this show. I know I had internet issues and stuff last time. I want to show up. I've got crazy weekends, so I haven't been able to take. I know you sent me the link at least one other time, and I wasn't able to do it. I was out of town that day. I think I was in the chat that day.
I was on Don's show once, and I had fun. It was a really good time. I love watching different artists get together and seeing their techniques of how they like use the stylus or the pencil, because each one does it completely differently. Like Joe Catapano, like grips his pencil with 3 fingers and a thumb, and then somebody else will like do it between like holding a chopstick almost and doing it more.
I've seen people like
strokes. Yes, I love
like this techniques. And I'm like, no, I'm like this, and then sometimes I'll draw with like the arm. You know what I mean?
I'm no longer welcome.
But most of the time, I'm drawing like this. But I see people do like this weird shit.
I can come anytime. I got a ticket. But yeah, it is fun over on the Don's channel, man. You need to get back over there, most definitely.
Mm-hmm. That's usually on Saturdays, right? Or is it Sundays?
Yeah. Megan chewed me out last time. She was like, "You are not doing that on our days off. You are going to spend time with the family." I was like, "Yeah, yes,
is that why you didn't respond?" I was like, "Barbecue stream, bitch!" And then I was like drinking, sending all of those beer emojis,
right?
And then barbecuing, and then I didn't get any response at all. I was like, fucking Jake.
Don't blame
Stream
me.
on
Blame the woman.
Thursdays.
I don't
Craig,
understand. As soon as I buy a house, somehow I lost my power and she gained it.
Grody, I need your phone number so I can call you when I'm drinking and barbecue.
It's
Jake won't answer.
911.
All right, that's 9.
I'm always with the studio in spirit.
911, you say?
Yeah.
All right, I'm calling you next time I'm barbecuing.
It might look like a few other people might show up, but don't worry, I'll be there.
We'll all be there. Oh, dude, I did that today. As soon as I got off of work, I don't know why I did it, but I had a steak thawing in the fridge. So I got home and I just grabbed a bunch of wood from the yard and threw it in the pit and lit it up. Had a steak in like 15 minutes. It was the best end of the day ever.
So what's your cut, man? Because I go for the full ribeye because you're getting either the filet mignon or the sirloin on the T-bone.
This is no bones. This was the sirloin.
Okay.
But it was like a thick ass fucking big motherfucker.
Who is this guest and why
Grody.
is he so animated?
It's because he never has a chance to talk because I'm always talking or Jake
Right.
or I'm interrupting.
So
we do give him a chance to speak at the end of every episode.
Yeah. Grody is always able to talk whenever he wants. It's just when he actually wants to, he'll yell at us to shut up, and then we immediately wait for him to speak his words of wisdom. Because
and as soon as it says "ended" up in the corner, the stream ended. That's when he goes crazy.
I don't know what you're talking about. I do have a question though.
Oh, do you?
No.
Oh.
Out of all these books, Grody, which one do you think you're more inclined to like want to read?
King Cryptid or Bolt Action?
Well, actually, now that we've been looking at Bolt Action and King Cryptid a little closer, King Cryptid is actually quite interesting. I think I would get into that one. Kind of reminds me of Swamp Thing, some of those old comic books back in the day that I really enjoyed watching.
Mm-hmm.
Monster of the Week.
Definitely.
Yeah, I really like King Cryptid. Monster of the Week. Yes, that's exactly what it is. Definitely. It's kind of Twilight Zone-ish almost. Or
I was kind of thinking it's got like the feeling of like the Spawn cartoons, but like you were saying with the gargoyle vibe.
Oh, it would be so badass if he could get that animated and they do it on dark paper like they did the animated series or Gargoyles or X-Men.
Yeah.
This is one Peter Simeti needs to get out there as an animated show.
It definitely needs to be a show. It's like got X-File vibes, it's got Spawn vibes, it's got Gargoyle vibes. This was a cool book I would have loved when I was a kid. And it's good. It's like a good read for kids. Like anyone can read this book.
Yeah. Really? Cryptid over the Bolt Action Babes?
Yes. You can read Bolt Action Babes and stuff all day long, but King Cryptid is something you can actually go back and read again and enjoy it.
And I actually would. I'd actually share these with my kids and friends that are in the comics.
I would share that with everybody. Yeah.
Bolt Action is something where you close the blinds, you get in the corner with a little bit of light.
You hide in that corner over there, and then you read it like in secret.
And your wife,
somebody comes in,
says, "What you're doing?"
And then you go, "Oh!" when somebody walks in. I'm just reading a book, but King Crypt is like, "Bro, you got to read this book."
Yeah.
I was even trying to get my wife to help me figure out the password. And she's like, why the fuck would I ever want to do that? And I was like, well, I'm trying to do it before the live stream. And I was like, I want to get it. I want to figure it out. And then she's like, I guess. And I was like, never mind. I'll figure it out myself. And then I did figure it out. And I was like, super proud that I figured it out. And the prize. King Crypt is a fun book, man. I would. It's one of my top favorite campaigns out there.
I wouldn't hide it. Be a man. Read it out in the open. It's your house. You're married, right? I know you know.
I guess it's not that bad compared to manga. I guess there's a lot of mangas. I read some mangas that my kids were reading, and I'm like, what the like? How did you get this? Where did you even get this? And like, well, you bought it. And I was like, I glanced through every book and I never saw that page.
Mm-hmm.
That's because they're like 100 pages in those books. And it really wasn't that bad, but it was just like, okay, maybe I got to scan these books.
The only thing that helps me get away with these is because Megan doesn't care for comics. She'll go to the movies all day, right? Mm-hmm. She'll go to the Marvel films, the DC films, anything that shows up in the theater, she'll go watch it with me. But when it comes to the actual books where these stories come from, she's like, those are for kids. I'm like, who the hell do you think writes these things? Kids are not writing these things.
Yeah, but those write for kids.
Adult minds, people.
Yeah, but so was Spider-Man was written by an adult for kids.
Yeah, but some of the
there's a difference. Like, here's an example when it comes to like the manga and stuff I was talking about. The difference between Toilet Bound Hanako-kun, which is one of the books that my daughter reads, and Berserk. You know what I mean? Like
Berserk's a rough one.
That is not one that I would get, for my kids.
Right.
A friend of mine told me, you have to get this. He's only seen the anime, mind you. And he's like, you have to read that book. You have to. That drunk guy that was on the phone the other day. And so I went to my library. They have all the Berserks. And I started reading it. Saying Hanako-kunt. Yeah, Toilet Bound Hanako-kun. Should I say it with an accident?
If you don't know about Mo, he is not for the weebery, and
I'm not a big fan of it either. I don't hate it, but
he's booted me because of it a couple times.
So Berserk, I'm reading Berserk, and I get 3 of those fucking tombs. I get 3 tombs in, and I'm like, okay. I talked to my friend again, and I'm like, bro, this book it's okay. It's not the best. Like, I think you're overselling it a bit. Yeah. And he's like, well, it's amazing. The artwork. I'm like, dude, the artwork is not good. Don't go there. The artwork is not good in the first 3 tombs. It's not the worst I've ever seen, but it's not good. And then I'm like, and there's a lot of fucking rape, bro. And he's like, that's no rape. And I was like, have you read the book? And this is where I found out he never read the book. And I was like, there's rape all over this book. Like, in the first 2 pages is rape. No, that's not, no. And I was like, yes, bro, I fucking got the books. I read them, and now I'm calling you out. You haven't read that book, have you? And he's like, well, I was the anime. And I was like, you're going off the anime? You're trying to tell me this is the best artwork in the world, best story ever based off the anime, and that I should go read the book? Yeah, I'm like, you need to go read the book.
Yeah. I get that same thing from Megan, Corey. I understand completely. I did get her to watch Invincible, though. She was actually intrigued with that one.
Invincible is a pretty cool series.
Yeah. It's
hard to get wives to read a comic book, though.
Megan actually got me the Volume 1 compendium of Invincible, and that's a thick fucker. Hang on.
Dude, all right, my wife's she's bought me books before. She got me some Ninja Turtle Adventures and some Mutanimals and G.I. Joe. Damn, that's badass. That's huge. I saw a G.I. Joe book that big, and at Barnes and Noble, and I almost bought it, but it was like $80, and I thought, there's a website out there.
The art style isn't really my favorite, but it does all right. It kind of reminds you of the animated series, but I feel like the animated series, even though people trash the animation and the designs, I like it better than what the book gave us. I'll show it here. So
yeah.
It's kind of meh.
It's like it's decent enough, but it does seem like it was rushed, or not rushed, but not effort was. There was this time with the Walking Dead where the artwork was good enough to fly, but was simplistic enough to put out an issue every week. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but look at all that dead space behind him, just with the red sky.
Hence, you could put this book out once a month pretty easily.
Yeah,
with a moderate artist.
So I get it. It's kind of
like Walking Dead.
It's kind of indie-ish, I get. Yeah, because it's Image. But
yeah, there's a lot of books like that. Although that's a hit or miss with Image. Image has some other books that are like Seven to Eternity. I'm still reading Seven to Eternity, and damn, that's a pretty cool book so far. And
So, you guys
yeah,
know Michael Odin, and we were talking about mythologies like Greek and all those different things because I'm a huge buff, and so is he. He more so than I. And he turned me to a, a comic called East to West. And I haven't started it yet, but I just got them the other day. So I'm going to dive into those next and see what they're about. Because he said if I like that kind of stuff, I need to read East to West. So we're going to see. We're going to see what that
I'm not sure
holds.
what East to West is. If I was ever, I felt bad. Have you ever had somebody ask you, "What book do you recommend?" Like I'm wanting to get into comics, but what do you recommend? And I was caught off guard one time while I was digging for Wolverine books. So
Okay.
I was like, Wolverine. I was like, I don't know what to think. But then when it's like that thing I talked about a couple weeks ago when somebody talks to you and like 15 seconds or 2 minutes later, you know what to say. You're like, oh shit, I should have said that.
Right.
And like he told me that as I was walking out the door with the Wolverine comics, and he's like, so what do you think what kind of book should I read? A good series, and I was like, Wolverine. All right, gotta go. And then as soon as I got out to the car, I was like, fuck, I should have said like Nexus. I
Yeah.
should have said the Incal or Inkle, whatever you call that book that influenced a lot of like
Right.
sci-fi. The Inkle is a pretty crazy series. I've read 3/4 of the whole thing. I'm not
So
finished with the fourth book because the artwork's rough
if it
on that
wasn't for
one.
this indie scene, that if it wasn't for Comicsgate, I would never have escaped the superhero genre. Right.
Yeah, that's a cool thing about this scene. Learning
Right.
about all the shit you never knew about.
Right. Because I've stuck, and I can recommend like Green Lantern Rebirth, or I can recommend and people don't like Brian Michael Bendis for some reason, but I don't mind him. And the Daredevil series that he did to me was actually decent, good,
Yeah.
and I enjoyed it. Of course, IDW's early 2000s run of TMNT. I'm going through those issues again. I got volume 3 right here. But when it comes to things like East to West, like Michael Odin suggested for me to read because I like mythology and whatnot.
Yeah,
Uh,
they don't hate him because of Daredevil.
no, not what do they hate him about? Is it just because he makes too many speech bubbles?
I thought it was some political or some shit that he did. Is he the one
Oh,
that had like allegations?
I'm not sure. I
I'm
mean,
sure
even
he
James
is.
Gunn
They
had
all
that
have
tweet that
allegations, but
canceled him way back when, but even people got over that. So, how long is it going to take to get over Bendis?
yeah, I'm not sure. I don't know anything about.
Mo Biggs will tell us.
Yeah, tell us, Mo Biggs, what is the reason people hate?
But you
He went
know,
woke and
um,
then left Marvel for DC and ruined Superman. That's
Kit
pretty good.
Carter was a good one. Like I wouldn't
Kit,
even get into Space
oh
Adventures
yeah,
if it
Kit
wasn't
Carter
for
was
Kit
good.
Carter or what's the Ron Randall's Trekker that I got on Kickstarter. There's actually good books over on Kickstarter. I'm tired of thinking that it's just about tits and
No, it was never okay. That's my personal take. Is like Kickstarter's just the
that's
TNA.
most people's take. Let's be honest.
Well, because that's what most of the books are on there. Let's be
Sure.
honest. But not to say that there's no good books on there.
Right.
But that's not. But also, the reason I don't go to Kickstarter is because of their kicking people off. And I'm not talking about
Yeah.
mild shadow banning. I'm not
Yeah.
talking about booting a book that has like design like okay, a cash grab was booted from Indiegogo, but it was designed to be an offensive book, right?
Mm-hmm.
So there's understanding behind the TOA why they would kick him out.
Yeah.
Right? And I know everybody wants to rally and go, no, this is the one. This is the reason because they didn't accept this offensive book.
Right.
It's like, no, we don't need everybody who's actually doing decent books to abandon Indiegogo because the guy tried to piss them off with his book, right? Meanwhile, there was a book on Kickstarter that did nothing wrong that got kicked off because of politics on Twitter, like shit that off platform. That's where I'm like, fuck Kickstarter, like fuck them, and they're all TNA books anyways. So that's where I'm at, and I know there's like a bunch of nuance and shit with that whole debate.
Kickstarter does have an issue with banning people that show a political stance.
But TNA and that shit, you can have 50 variant covers, a scam comic book with 50 variants of TNA, and that's fine.
Which is really weird.
It's weird. There's nothing wrong with TNA books, and they do great over on Kickstarter. But the hypocrisy of like this thing you said on Twitter was offensive, but your book with like tentacle porn is not. You know what I mean? We're okay with that, but we're not okay with the fact that you're conservative over on Twitter.
Like when I saw Super Plumber Sisters, I was like, okay, that's just female Mario and Luigi. And then when I saw My Sexy Witch Academia, okay, so you're taking Harry Potter and My Hero Academia and making a sexy school.
Where do we see that?
That was also on Kickstarter. I can't remember if that's JDA or somebody else.
Oh, no, that wasn't I don't think that was JDA. JDA is a good example of books that are kind of like. He's got a lot of books that are just joke books. Yeah. Nothing wrong with it. There's no reason they shouldn't exist, but that's not my forte of comic books. That one sci-fi looked like it might be decent with I forget what he called it, but the redhead chick with the laser gun, and he had Aaron Lepresti do a cover, I think.
Ariel 13.
No, that's Merkmaid. That's over on Fun My Comic.
Oh, okay.
That is not JDA. I'm talking about JDA's books. I forget what it's called. Like of all the books that he has, I think they're all pretty much worthless, except for maybe that one that he has, that one series that he has. I haven't read it, but that one series looks like it could be all right. But I don't think it's on Kickstarter.
I don't know where it is. I don't follow JDA all that much.
I don't anymore. I just got bored with it. There are a lot of books, and I'm sure they're good ones on Kickstarter. I don't go to Kickstarter, and it's because I believe the reason why we as Comics Gate, a lot of us left Kickstarter or don't go to Kickstarter. I'm on that mindset. I'm not here to like argue. If you want to go. I don't give a shit.
Right.
I'm not going to go buy or look at shit on Kickstarter because that's where I stand. I don't have a problem if you do, but this is where I stand.
I'm kind of the same mind on like 50 variants and whatnot, not just for the books on Kickstarter, but when we get a book on either Fund My Comic or Indiegogo, immediately after that campaign's successful, then they put the variants out on the different platforms other than the one for the
I don't even think there's anything wrong with that. And like yesterday, we looked at a book on Indiegogo that was clearly should have been a Kickstarter book, and I'm sure it is the blue whatever that thing is called. In fact, if you have a TNA book, go to Kickstarter.
Yeah,
like for all, like
it'll be the most successful over there. Yes,
yeah, you're going to do great on Kickstarter with the book like that. Bolt Action should be on Kickstarter if it's not.
It really should be.
Yeah,
they make a killing over there.
I'm not going to go to Kickstarter, and I'm glad it's on Fund My Comic because it's on Fund My Comic, right?
It's on Fund My Comic.
I'll buy it off Fund My Comic. I'm not going to go to Kickstarter though. So, but definitely put that kind of stuff on Kickstarter.
But yeah. So yeah, I'm very pleased with King Cryptid from Peter Samedi and Alterna Comics. I had fun with Bolt Action from Rat House Magazine. I highly suggest both of them. Yeah, I think that's it for now, man. Anything else? Anything?
No.
What you got going next week?
Next week, I'm gonna dive into that book. Those, if I can remember, next week I want to find those old Eerie magazine style books that I love, dude. Like the Complete Web of Horror. Should I share it right now?
Yeah, go for it.
I'm gonna present this screen. You know, I'm not gonna scroll through the channel to the thing because I want to do it on my channel next week.
Of course.
But this is what I'm looking for. Web of Horror. The complete Web of Horror. This is not the book I was looking for, but this is exactly what kind of shit I'm looking for. The 3 issues from 1969 to 1970, all the rare stories created for issues never published.
Oh, man.
You know what? We'll go through a quick little scroll here. But like just to get to this artwork. Dude, I love this artwork. Cool. This is like cool, old school. This is like one of the cool things about like finding out indie comics, old school books is, I don't know what the hell that is. That 2022? Maybe this is a modern thing. I don't know. That's weird. But look at this.
That's like, a cool cover.
Yeah, that's like very Frank Frazetta-ish. But and this is another one too, man. I like these kind of books. And I want to find everything right here. This looks like Bernie Wrightson, man. Sick. Like this artwork. I want to find everything out from history that I can of this kind of shit. And I want to get it because it is Bernie Wrightson. Look at that. I called it right here in the corner. Bernie Wrightson. Bernie Wrightson is the man, dude. He's up there with Frank Frazetta. That dude could render the shit out of a drawing. I freaking love Bernie Wrightson. He did that Frankenstein. He did Freak Show. He did this. This is Sid Shores. All right, anyway, so this is just a taste of what I'm looking for in my journey next week because I lost a couple of magazines that did just this type of thing, right? And I'm going to find them. Whatever it takes, I'm going to find them. We're going to look at them because this one's in demand. You can actually get that book. Props to Bernie Wrightson for that excellent Bernie Wrightson homage. Yeah, that's right.
Oh, man. Yeah, man. We'll check that out more on your channel next week. Guys, go over to Peter Orchard Studios. We have a ball over there too. All 4 of us are there also. It's just another way for us to get together more than just once a week. And
this is where we find those cool books like Bolt Action.
That's what his show is. It's Underground Indies Live.
And Comics Underground Live.
Comics Underground Live. And it's a fun time, man. We go through these platforms, we see what's interesting, and then we back them, basically. That's how I got Bolt Action.
Dude, that's where we found Polar Destroyer. Or y'all talked about Polar Destroyer. Then I was like, dude, this looks really way cooler than y'all didn't talk enough. And then I backed it, and I can't wait. I think we got Polar Destroyer funded.
We did. Or you
that
did.
Book is
I think
cool,
you were more
man.
I think you were more on the train than I was.
I wanted that cover so bad. But that book looks cool, man. So, definitely.
All right.
Next week, Wednesday at 8 o'clock.
Wednesday, 8 o'clock Texas time. Peter Orchard Studios. Thursday, 8 o'clock Texas time over here on Bionic Bruh.
Oh, we got to talk about one thing real quick.
What's that?
As was being discussed in the chat, D-Wag says next week at 8 o'clock Texas time, Ethan Van Sciver is going to be drawing against Zayd.
We'll EFAP it.
We got to EFAP it. That's what I'm saying. We got to EFAP this shit.
Yeah, we do.
You know what I mean?
Hell yeah.
We need some sound effects and some like crowd go, ooh, ooh, ooh.
Yeah, we'll get it. Definitely. Grody, you got anything to say?